The 7Demo7 YouTube channel. So I'm gonna wait just like about a minute or so here. We'll get started. I just want to let you guys populate into the room, and I'll tell you guys what we have going on today. So you can probably see my reflection there. Hey, how's it going, guys? So if you guys are out there and you're watching, go ahead and let me know if the audio is working okay. If you could just let me know. And I actually don't have my iPad with me today, so I won't be able to look directly at your comments in live time. Actually, I'm going to do something here. Maybe I will turn on my, let me see if I can do this real quick. Audio is great. Okay, thanks guys. So this is an 8th scale buggy. A lot of my videos on YouTube, I have very few car videos, besides my drifty stuff, of course. But I realize that a lot of my audience, a lot of you guys out there race cars and just like to have fun bashers and whatnot. And those videos that I put up like on my Traxxas Slash get about 2 to 3 times the viewership of my most popular videos out there. So you know, and I've always been into buggies and whatnot, so I thought, why don't we start getting some more car content on the channel, besides, of course, the crazy drift stuff that I've been doing so much of. So I'm going to go ahead and go behind the camera here. Let me just make sure this is angled properly. I'm going to get maybe a little bit closer so you guys can see, and I can hold things up in just a second here, guys. And actually, I'm going to unhook myself for just a second. Sorry. Sorry for the delay here, guys. How am I going to do this? I started slightly unprepared, so I'm going to have a little bit of microphone noise here. Hang on just a second. Okay, so guys, I'm going to go ahead and go behind the camera here, and we shall get started. So, okay, guys. So, so I've been looking at some of the more inexpensive cars that are out there from Hobby King and other places. Of course, I want to get the Traxxas UDR, which is the ultimate desert racer. But that thing's like $700 to $1,000 after you get done paying for batteries and all that good stuff. So I do like something like this, which is pretty inexpensive. I think this is about $130. This the buggy that we're unboxing today is about $130 as well. But I also look at more than that. I also look at, you know, what are the repair costs on these things, and all the repair maintenance things that go along with these cars are fairly inexpensive. In fact, with this car that we're unboxing today, I went ahead and got a set of A-arms for the front, because those are typically the ones that break the most. I think I got like 3 or 4 of those, and they're like $1.50 a piece. And for my Hobby King Desert Racer here, I broke one of the front A-arms. I just repaired this recently. A set of A-arms was $2.30. So really excellent repair costs. Now the cage here, I need to replace that. I already ordered one. It's $10 from the US warehouse. Unfortunately, they didn't have any in the US warehouse, so I paid the extra cost for shipping from the international warehouse. So, you know, repair costs are a big thing. So if all of your parts are adding up to like $10 here and $20 here, then the cost of owning a buggy is going to be really, really expensive. So $2.30 for a set of arms for this thing, it's pretty awesome. Now the arms I got for the Rattler are pretty inexpensive as well, and not only that, you can use the arms, the lower A arms, for the front or the back. You just flip them, flip the top to the bottom, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get into this real quick, guys. I don't want to hold you guys up too much here. We'll do a quick unboxing, and I will get to all your comments at the very, very end. I'll have to grab the phone and just take a quick peek there. All right. Also, if you guys are in the United States, I got this from the US warehouse. They are in stock right now, and they were on special for $130, I think. They were on like a weekly special. And I also had like $29 of credit coming back to me, so I got this for right around $100 shipped. Anytime you buy anything over $100 from Hobby King, it comes with free shipping within your warehouse that's closest to you. So, all that being said, I saved on shipping costs, and I used all my Hobby King bucks as well. So let's just take this out of here. All right, so I do have the A-arms, which like I said were about $1.30 a piece. I think I got 3 of these. There we go. Yeah, you might as well order them while you're buying this, because you know breaking it and then having to buy it, then you're going to be out of a car for about a week or so. So let's take a look at the Rattler. So this is the this is the plug-in, not the plug-and-play, or in other words, this one did not come with a remote. I already have the batteries. I have a remote. So if you get the one with the remote, it's like $20 extra, and it's just a decent quality remote. It'll get you by. But if you got a higher quality remote, you might as well go with that. So I'm going to be getting a receiver for my Sanwa MVX, which is a great radio. It has endpoint adjustments. It has a lot of different throttle curves that you can add into the mix and whatnot. So let's take a look at this here. So there's a no tape holding this box closed. Let's just take a quick peek here. This is the Rattler, and it has some cool pictures on this side. There's nothing on the bottom, but one of the reasons why they re-released this car is because the ESC and the motor were not that great in the first version of this. Now this one comes with a what is the speed controller? It's a 40 amp speed controller. So this one should be the upgraded version, which has I believe a Hobby Wing ESC in here, and this is good up to 3S as well. I'm gonna probably run it on 2S. Every video that I've seen on YouTube, and I do research this stuff quite a bit, everybody that I've seen go to 3S starts breaking things left and right. So then you've got to start upgrading things. I like 2S. It's great. It's fun for my kids. So this, once again, 8th scale. This has a brushless motor. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Like I said, I was mentioning, I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys, but I got this from the US West warehouse, and it came in 3 days from Oregon. Oregon to, it's basically Oregon to California. So, okay, so we've got the wing here. I'm not a real big fan on these wings on these cars, but because they always break off, it's always just a point of failure. But I might put it on, I might not. This one's actually kind of nice. It's got this faux carbon look to it, and it's kind of flexible. So they did say that they upgraded this wing. So I do want to make sure that I have the upgraded version, which is the one I did buy, the V2, or they don't call it the V2, they call it the upgraded version. All right, here we go. And like I said, this is a slightly bigger Buggy. It's not as big as some 8th scale. In fact, this has a 12mm hexes on here that are typically with the same type of wheels that you'd put on a 110 scale. So you can use any 110 scale, like stadium style wheels for this car. So it comes with the car and a instruction manual. So let's take a quick peek at this. It looks pretty cool right out of the box here. All right, so we got the suspension going here. Let's go ahead and I'll give you guys a quick look around this thing. Now, when I first got into RC cars back when I was in high school, these are the type of tires that we kind of they look like. Kind of real soft, gummy tires, and these tiny, short little knobs here. Pretty interesting that's the type of wheel that these come with. Now this is very, very soft rubber. So one of the complaints of the first Rattler was the motor and ESC, which is what they've upgraded. I believe the tires as well is an upgrade as well. So, and as you guys can see here, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but here is the front A-arm and the back A-arm. They're identical. They're just flipped, and there's actually this is the active tow system right here, which is basically like a little a linkage right here, which prevents the rear from steering, basically. So if you wanted to add some tow in, you could actually make that into an adjustable link. Sounds like I actually know what I'm talking about, doesn't it? That's kind of funny. All right, so let's pull the body pins here, and we'll take the body off. And quite honestly, compared to the Hobby King Desert Fox here, it's not that much bigger than the Desert Fox. So let's take a quick peek at these side by side. I mean, really, the wheelbase is almost identical. So the fact that they call this a 1/8 scale Buggy is a little bit different. I would think that it would be a little bit larger, although, yeah, it's scale Buggy. Now, one of the other complaints about this car was that it does not have a center diff, so it just has a solid axle going through. It does have front and rear diffs, but nothing to divide the front from the rear. I don't know how much that's going to really affect anything as you're driving the thing. This is really not meant for racing or anything like that. It's really just kind of meant for having a lot of fun. I'm sure guys have upgraded this and and race them at some point. But looks like we have some plastic shocks here with aluminum caps and aluminum adjustable preload rings here. Looks pretty nice. On the Desert Fox here, I definitely had to loosen up my rear shocks as I went along there. Looks like they are oil filled, and I can feel that oil that's inside there. Let's see how each of these sound. Your ESC is going to be inside this little box here, along with your steering servo, and a lot of guys that have talked about the steering servo say it's actually a decent quality servo, like it lasts for a long time before you ever need to replace anything. Looks like on here there's actually some nice big ball ends to the end of these A-arms here, so it looks like that's going to be quite sturdy. So it's looking pretty nice there. So I'm going to run this on a 2S 5000 milliamp pack, and I have a bunch of those from my drift car that I used to run the larger packs. I do run smaller packs now. But 2S should be pretty cool. So I'm definitely going to get some a battery in here and bind up my radio and check this thing out. So what do you guys think of this thing? It looks pretty good. Like I said, this comes, I think, $130 right now from Hobby King, and it is on special. So if you guys are interested in something like this. Now it is not waterproof. Just to let you guys know, it's kind of splash proof, but not waterproof. That's where this box comes into. It tends to keep the water shedding off of the electronics in here, but the ESC itself is not actually waterproof. So if that's something you guys wanted to do, you would definitely need to upgrade that. One of the things I'm going to do to these wheels, I'm going to probably take the wheels off, and I'm going to seal the wheels so that it keeps a little bit of the air in there and it doesn't squish out here. Also, that's good for when you're running through water, that you don't get water sucked into the inside of the foams of the wheels. Whenever you get water inside wheels, it'll tend to make them very unstable. Like when you throttle up, they'll be unbalanced. It'll have all the weight of the water in one part of the wheel, and the wheel will hop. But really cool looking buggy. I can't really wait to try this out. It's just real simple. Just battery on one side, ESC and servo on the other with a motor. Some guys were saying that to make sure that all the bolts on the motor mount are tightened down. I guess somebody had one that wasn't, so I'm going to check that as we go along. Nothing really too much as far as the bumper goes. So if you hit something straight with like a curb or something like that, you're not going to hit the front. Looks like it'll just pop right over. But other than that, it looks pretty cool. So let me just take you guys off of my tripod here, and I'll take a look and see if there's any comments. And if you're here with me right now, thanks everyone for joining me. It's just going to be a quick unboxing. You know, when the postman comes ringing at your door and you're in the middle of work, it's kind of a nice thing to see what's happening in those boxes. All right, let's just take a quick peek here. So I'm just going to take a couple of quick shots here of the whole car. This is your battery. Clasper here, I don't know what that's what it's called, but it has a servo saver in the front here, so if you hit something really hard, it's not going to strip your servo immediately. Got the oil-filled shocks, and the guys running this on 3S, so I really saw them crazy launching this thing off of jumps from a BMX track, really pretty much abusing the thing. And he was like, oh yeah, you know, he's just driving around. It's much more abuse than I'm ever going to put this thing through. The only thing I'm ever going to do is maybe tumble this thing down a hill. Look at the bottom. It's kind of funny. The bottom it is a plastic chassis. It's different than the Hobby King, the Desert Fox here, because this one actually has a metal chassis. So just a FYI. So plastic faux plastic carbon fiber there, and here are the little inserts for the shock mounts here. So the active rear toe here, like it looks just like the hub carrier in the front is identical to the back. So like I said, you can just buy one set of A-arms for $1.30 or $2.50 for two, and just run them front or rear in case you break one. And just at like the front to the back, you've got the steering here. And here is the solid piece here that's going to keep your toe at the proper toe. So, like I said, no center diff. But you know, for a basher, I don't think that's really going to matter too much. But a lot of people have been pretty happy with this as an inexpensive, just get into it type of a car. So let's take a quick peek here. Michael W is here. Awesome. How are they so cheap? Yeah, I know. I know. It's funny. The motor here. I mean, like the motor in my my drift car costs more than this entire car. I think I paid $175 for my drifting motor, but it is a really high spec motor. So, isn't that funny that I could buy an entire car for the cost of my drift motor? Same thing with my drift ESC. I think my drift ESC was like $230. Ooh, that's pretty rough. Don't tell my wife, guys. Raul Odin says, nice, I love my Rattler. The good news is it'll run forever on 2S, but the fun really happens with 3S. Sadly, it does probably raise the repairs after half a dozen spirited runs. Great price, though. Just about to check the price. By the way, mine does 46 to 49 miles an hour consistently on 3S. Wow. And Fishy Comics is here. He's a longtime subscriber of mine. I'm a longtime subscriber as his. I think I'll stick to Arma. Tallying that is, I know that I've heard of the Arma brand, and they are really, really nice cars, but I won't probably venture that way for a while. I know I do want to get one of the large truggy style 8-scale buggies. Those things look really, really nice, but that means I'm going to need to venture into 4S and 6S and whatnot. But just as a quick, just get into it type of buggy, I think this is really nice. I mean, this is so tough that I can just let my kids take it up to Kite Hill and just, run the thing around and not really be too worried about broken parts or anything like that. I mean, so I had the Traxxas Slash, and when I started upgrading it and making it faster and faster and faster, I actually lost a lot of the fun of the thing because it just you would torque roll over and you could traction roll it so easy, and my kids get frustrated with it, and then we started breaking things, and I think that's where you lose a lot of the fun of these type of cars, is when you start upgrading it too much, and then it just gets unfun to drive. You're just basically managing how fast you're going to run into a curb. Anyway, I don't know, do you guys feel like that? I felt like that with my Slash. I kind of wish I'd never upgraded it, but everyone's always looking for upgrades, and actually that's one of my most popular videos. Like I said, Traxxas Slash, I think I called it Upgrade Time, if you want to look for that on my channel. But I just did some minor upgrades, and man, like I said, that video outperforms any of my other videos 2-to-1 easily, hands down. So anyway, this good-looking little car. I think that the wheels may not be the best as far as the tires go, so that might be the first upgrade for something like this. But other than that, it looks like a really neat car. And just FYI, guys, Hobby King did not send this to me for review or anything like that. I paid my own money for this. I like to let you guys know that just in case, everyone's like, oh, he's just doing this review for Hobby King because they sent it to him. No, I paid my own money for this. I'm going to give it an honest review. I try to give you guys honest reviews on everything. And you guys know that as well. Like I've got the Hobby King Sidewinder, my first version that started flopping in the wind, and they're still going to send me a version of that so I can test it with the stock prop. But I was the first person on YouTube to throw out the fact that the thing is flopping in the wind, and they were very gracious. They're like, hey, and I asked them, hey, let's send me another one that I don't tape up, and I will test it on the proper stock prop. Now, the one that I have, this one right over here, that's my original one. I have it taped and everything. This thing has actually gone up to about 108, 110 miles an hour with no wobble or anything like that. So anyway, guys, that is it for right now. I'm going to get back to work. I just wanted to share what the postman brought me right now. When these things come in, I've got to share. So I appreciate all you guys being here. Take care and have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.